So you're with me here while I do my night routine tonight. Which includes tonight our oil-free eye makeup remover, which is really cool. So you can kind of see it's already started mixing itself because I'm moving my bag. But you also can kind of see like it's 2 layers, which is really cool. Shake it up. Voila, just like that. So the entire reason I'm actually doing this video has actually nothing to do with my Mary Kay products tonight. It actually has to do with something that happened today, because you notice I have pads. Yeah, that's what it has to do with. So I went to the dollar store today with my mother, and while we were there, we just happened to see, this is like right as we're checking out, and like honestly, I am not gonna lie, like this just bothers me so much. Like I don't know why people do this, but there was a little girl that was just running around the store right by the registers. She had a bottle of bubbles, and she was just, going a little bit and then dumping it out. And she'd walk a little bit farther and then dump it out. And like literally no parents around to stop her. No adult supervision whatsoever. And then somebody ended up falling because of it. Like, and then of course after the chick fell, like, oh, then it was, we need to be worried. Where's the child? Where's the child? And then a big deal was made about the fact that she was not right there by mom. At least I'm guessing mom. Honestly, like, I never know when it comes to, like, those kinds of groups. But it's like, for me, it's just like, you seriously just, like, let your kid just run around and do whatever they wanted to do. Not caring where they were, what they were doing, or anything like that. Then somebody falls and you could be held responsible, and now you care where your kid is at. Because that makes so much sense. Which honestly, like I said, just pisses me off, because it's like, if you have kids, I must be weird, because if you have kids, I think you should be responsible for taking care of your kids and for knowing where your kids are at. And that is at all times. You should know where your children are at. But like I said, I must be a weird one or something like that, because I believe in that. And around here, I will tell you, I have seen so many kids running through stores, pulling things off shelves, just being little brats. Especially at the dollar store. Now, what I'm about to say may sound kind of racist. It's not meant to. If you take it that way, then it's on you. But I've noticed a pattern in the kids that tend to do this destroying of the store. And you gotta understand, where I live, there's a lot of Mexicans, and guess what? That tends to be the kids that run through the store and destroy everything. Now, I know I said, it might come off sounding racist, and you're gonna probably, and some of you that watch this video are probably gonna call me racist. Well, you know what? Call me racist if you want to call me racist. I don't care. Because I'm pointing out a fact. You know, like literally, I see kids that happen to be Mexican running around the store more often than I do kids of non-Mexican descent. I mean, yes, I do every so often catch the white kids that sit there and they do the exact same thing. So I'm not saying, it's only a certain, group of people. No, I'm not. I am just simply saying, don't worry, I can do this with my eye cream. Um, but yeah, there's like, it's a certain group of people I tend to see that let their kids run around, and it tends to be, the Mexicans around here. And it, like I said, it really irked me because it's like, my mother and I, like, not our kid, there's nothing much we can do about it, right? But, this little kid is just running around, little girl, couldn't be older than 4. I doubt she was even 4. She's probably like 3. But, like 2 or 3, running around the store, bottle of bubbles that she had opened, and just stopping and just dumping out some of the suds, some of the bubbles on the floor, taking, a few steps, stopping, and then dumping more of the bubbles out of the bottle. And of course, she would crouch down when she dumped the bubbles out of the bottle. Like, no supervision, no parent caring or anything at that point. Like I said, it didn't become a problem that she was running around doing whatever until someone fell. Which really irked me because it's like, so now we have to have people falling down in the middle of the store for a parent to care where their child is? Like, it would not have been that hard to grab the girl and just, like, literally walk off with her. So, like I said, it irked me because it's like, I see parents do this all the time, and I hate it. Because it's like, when I was a kid, like, I never ran through the stores tearing them apart. Like, kids that were, absolute little brats were the ones that did that. Not me. And then, like, literally, like, this family did not care until right there towards the end. Really gotta remember what season they are on. But, like, literally did not care until the very end when somebody had already fallen, damage had already been done. Parents really, truly did not care. Or mother did. It was like one person and like 3 kids. And it just, it pissed me off to no end because, like I said, like, sorry, I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to put on to go to sleep with. Because I usually watch, like, Bob's Burgers or Family Guy or something like that, and I'm trying to figure out, what... at this point, I've, like, pretty much watched all of the episodes at least once. Some of them a couple more times because, like, I like the episode. I'm like, oh, hey, this episode's done. Oh, hey, that episode's next. I'll make sure I'll watch that one. But yeah, I mean, like I said, it's like, I see a lot, and it's mostly around here. It's mostly the Mexicans that just let their kids just run around, be little hellions, not care or anything. And it's like, do you really not care if your kid gets kidnapped? Because this little girl, like, literally was wandering just, like, all over the place, and didn't, yeah, whatever. After the gal that fell, then, somebody walked over. Then I'm guessing Big Sis, went looking for her. And of course, she's hanging out somewhere behind me, and I'm not really paying it. I'm like, I'm paying enough attention because, like, child is around me, and I call it my auntie instincts, you could call it my motherly instincts, whatever. But, like, so, like, those were, functioning at that point in time. Oh. So I thought I saw something good over here on my nightstand, which is a total mess that I need to clean up. But yeah, it's like, so you could, like, mother's instincts, auntie instincts, whatever you want to call it. There was a child nearby, and it's like, okay, I need, watch out for the child. And, like, of course, like, the person that fell, like, mom or grandma or some relation to her, came over and was like, to the cashier I was in line for, like, there's, water or something on the floor over here. You really should get that cleaned up. And it's like, honey, you're the first one reporting it. I was going to tell him, it's like, hey, you guys might want to clean up over here in front of the registers. There was a little girl unattended. I don't know where her parents were or anything, that had a bottle of soap, a bottle of bubbles, and was just dumping it on the floor. And she dumped, like, at least three puddles of soap, the bubbles on the floor that I know of. Like, I don't know who this child is. I have no idea. But you might want to put some signs out, get it mopped up, something, so somebody doesn't get hurt. Well, I didn't get that chance because somebody else came up. And of course, my mother was like, she thinks it was a scam from, the family member that reported the chick fell. And it's like, I don't know if she hit her head. Mom says she didn't hear her fall. It's like, Mom, there was no noise when she fell. She literally just ended up on her ass. There was no noise. I saw her go down. Like, it was literally one moment she was standing there, the next moment she just, one of those, literally, your feet just go out from underneath you. Like, okay, I use my teddy bear here as an example. So walking along, hits the puddle, that's all I saw. My mother said it sounded like a scam because she didn't hear somebody fall, and it's like, Mom, you don't always hear somebody fall. You're also not always paying attention like I am. Like, I blame the hubby because he's, like, security guard, and, like, I have to be, like, super vigilant when I'm around him, and, like, when I'm not around him, I'm more super vigilant. When I'm around him, like, I'm not quite as super vigilant. But yeah, so it pissed me off, like, and it always pisses me off when, like, parents aren't watching their kids, especially in, like, public settings. It's not that hard for somebody just to walk up and, grab the kid, take her into, like, the back of the store, wait, like, 10 minutes, especially if you're at checkout, and then leave with the kid. Or just grab the kid and leave, while you're standing in the checkout line. Like, seriously, it's not that hard to do. Like, how do you think kids get kidnapped usually? It's just, like, that quick. And, and then also, like, something else that bugs me, along the same lines is, and this really bugged me even when I was little, is when parents would let their kids run around restaurants. Yeah. Now, I say it the way I do because my uncle and his wives would let my cousins run around restaurants. I was always made to sit in my seat and be a good girl and not go run around the restaurant. But honestly, I'm thankful for that now. now that I'm older, I'm thankful for that. Because now I can actually sit out a seat. I used to have, like, meetings that would take up a whole weekend. And what's funny is when I used to do it with my cousins. So I was in what's called the International Order of Rainbow for Girls. No, they are not a lesbian group. It is a Masonic affiliated group for young ladies that don't have a family member who's already a Mason. A male family member who's already a Mason. And because I didn't have a male family member that was already a Mason, I could not be in the other group, so I was in Rainbows. And I got in Rainbow because of my cousins. It was the only way I could see them regularly. And so we have there's always, like, once a year, big meeting. All the girls from around the state, sometimes some out-of-state visitors, would get together. And during these meetings, like, it pissed me off because, like, my youngest cousin, she couldn't sit still. During these meetings, she could not sit still. And I would sit there, and I would sit still. And she'd keep bouncing everywhere, and just, like, every, like, 5 minutes, like, not even 5 minutes, she'd be moving. She'd, like, have to adjust. She'd have to be bouncing in her seat or something, and it's just like, child, stop it. I mean, like, 11 years old, I went to a super fancy dinner. And, like, we're talking, I was wearing a, like, beautiful outfit, like, very formal, long black skirt, nice top, all of that. And I went to this dinner at 11. I was the youngest person at this dinner. And the funny thing is, though, is my mom wanted to get mad at me. Because I like ordering Shirley Temples. And honestly, if I can find somebody who does it, I like ordering a dirty Shirley. But sometimes the vodka does not... It's either the vodka, there's too much vodka in it, or it's the cheap grenadine. Like, those are, like, the two problems that I've always run into, is too much vodka or the cheap grenadine. And so I literally, like, I ordered Shirley Temples. And of course, at this dinner, my Shirley Temples came with, like, little drafts that were, like, this tall. And I had, like, 2 of them, like, already. I had 2 Shirley Temples, so they came with the 2 little drafts. Well, one of the guys that was at the dinner that, like, has known me forever, like, seriously, he's watched me grow up. And so he was, he grabbed one of my drafts and he started playing with it. And then I started playing with it, with my little drafts. And my mother told me she wanted to get mad at me for, because, like, it started out, I look so pretty, I look so, grown up, regal, all of that, And here I was sitting there playing with my drafts. And she's like, I wanted to get mad at you, but I couldn't get mad at you because Elle was playing with the giraffe with you. He started it. I'm like, yeah, exactly. You can't get mad at me for that one. An adult started it, so it was okay. And she's like, yeah, I know. And, like, another good example of the whole fact that I appreciate the fact that I was made to behave when I was little, in stores, in restaurants. Like, literally, like, I never was one of those screaming kids in a restaurant. Like, you can't discipline your kids anymore. And I'm sorry, but if you tell me, oh, well, spanking is bad. I got my ass beat when I was a kid. My mother spanked me when I misbehaved. My grandmother, oh my God, if you ever misbehaved in her house, there was one question she would ask you. How old are you? Because that's how many swats on the ass she would get. And if you told her the wrong age, and trust me, Grandma remembers your age, she doubled your age. So right now, if I told her that I was, 20, I would get 40, no, I'm 28, so double that would be 6, carry 1, 40. I'd end up with 56 spankings because I would have lied to grandma and told her the wrong age. Like, seriously. Like, and that's what I grew up with. Like, if you screwed up, that's what your punishment was. You know, not this whole wussy little, well, when the kid screws up, we have to sit down with them and talk about why they screwed up and talk about what made them do this bad thing. And, we discuss our feelings because spanking is bad for our kids because that's abuse. And if you abuse your children, I'm sorry, but I was spanked as a kid and I'm perfectly fine now. My ex-husband actually was not spanked as a kid. And guess what? Yeah, he ain't that great. Or at least he wasn't that great. So, gee, let's see here. If we would do more than cuddle our kids, they wouldn't be little brats, now would they? Because I can tell you right now, if I was running around a store when I was little, my mother would have taken me out to the car, she would have swatted my ass, and we would have gone home, or she would have swatted my ass right there in the middle of the store, and continued her shopping while I was, doing my little sniffles in the cart. And nobody would have thought twice about it. Like, I mean, come on. Like, okay, so, like, I swear, if I tell a story, like, I'm gonna hear, how my grandmother abused my uncle when he was little. But, like, okay, when my uncle was little, like, and my grandmother was trying to iron stuff, he was, misbehaving. So she took the spray bottle and she just at him. It was on mist because she was, spraying down clothing, so she didn't want to stir him. She had it on mist. And she just took the spray bottle and she went at my uncle. And he got misted in the face. Well, guess what? After, like, the second or third time he did it, he got misted in the face. He stopped doing it. Bad action, consequence. He stopped doing it. It's like you see in the news, these kids that go in and, like, rob someplace. Or at least on Facebook, I've seen a couple of them. Like, these kids will break into houses and then they, like, and of course the owner has a gun or something like that. And then these kids are like, the parents and, the kids are like, well, he didn't have to be shot. He was just breaking into the house. And he was trying to steal stuff. That didn't give him a reason to get shot. And I'm over here, sorry, my nose is running. It's been running all day. Well, all night. I really wish it would stop. But, and then the family's like, well, he didn't have to be shot. He was just breaking in. He's just a kid. He doesn't know any better. And we're talking like somebody who is like, teens. How the fuck do they not know better? By teens, they should know right from wrong. By teenager, they should know. You break into a house, that homeowner could have a gun. That homeowner could shoot you because they feel threatened in their home. Guess what? I have a gun. Guess what? You break into my house. You know what's gonna happen? I'm gonna shoot your ass. And if I don't shoot you, I've got a really big sword. Guess what? You're not gonna like my big sword. Because I will stab you with my sword. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. And it's like, and it starts when they're young, not when they're like, 5 or 6, which, again, I know what that one's like because my youngest cousin, again, so she would not get actually punished by her mother when she was little. And, she would do something wrong and it's like, oh, it's so cute. And then it was she got older and, that, oh, she's so cute. At like, 2, 3, was no longer quite so cute when she was 9, 10. Yeah. Let's put it this way, like, I know my breasts are, one is bigger than the other. And I can tell you why. When they were developing and she wouldn't get her way because I wouldn't play a game exactly the way she wanted me to play it, she would literally punch me in the tits. Just one of them. She always favored one of them too. And it really pissed me off because, like, again, my mother couldn't discipline her. You know, her mom could discipline me, but my mother couldn't discipline her. And when we would be, playing here at Grandma Grandpa's, which actually, believe it or not, the room that I am in, that I do my, my bedroom that I do my filming in, actually was a playroom. Used to be in the living room because it's a very large living room, as you all have seen. There used to be a little corner in the living room, actually over by where I sit. Used to be, that used to be the play area out in the living room, and then I also had like right outside where my bedroom is. As like the secondary play area for like the bigger stuff that I had, like my big dollhouse. And then my mother and I moved out, and the playroom got moved into what is now my bedroom. And if I didn't play the way she wanted to while we were in here, she'd run up and she'd tell her mom. I got pretty sick and tired of it, and I complained. And I complained a lot. So Grandma finally stepped in when little brat decided, oh well, Violet and, or Angel and Little Bit, that's my middle cousin's nickname from our grandfather, our great grandpa. I was Midget, she was Little Bit. And, or was she Tiny? No, my oldest cousin is Tiny. Yeah, she was Little Bit. So when Little Bit and I would not play, the way she wanted to, she'd run up, Mommy, Little Bit and, Little Bit and Angel won't play with me. We just told her we weren't going to play the way she wanted us to play. And like I said, so I complained. Grandma finally started coming down, and she's like, we're calling me up, one of the two. And she's just like, what's going on? What's the real story? Here's what Sierra's saying. And I'm like, and I tell her, it's like, she's just upset because she wants me to do it do it her way. I said no. And her, I didn't want to do it her way. And Grandma was like, okay, that's all I need to know. And would send me on my way and then have a talk with her and be like, you need to stop, being a little bitch. She didn't say that, but basically is what she did. And it's just like, and because she could get away with it when she was little, she thinks she can get away with it now. Because see, now, here's the thing. I'm a grown-ass adult. I don't like what she wants me to do. I just walk away. If my car's around, I just drive off. If I don't have my car or I can't walk away, I call up the hubby and I'm like, baby, so thing 2 wants me to do this. I refuse to do it. She's throwing a fit. Can you come get me? And he comes and gets me. And see, this is what happens if you don't discipline your kids when they're little. Like that little girl that was, dumping bubbles all over the floor at the dollar store. Which I think, the only reason that the adult with her sent, like I said, I'm guessing it's Big Sis. I'm guessing it was Mom. And she sent Big Sis to go get her, and I'm guessing that was because the child dumped the bubbles on the floor and she didn't want to be held responsible for any damage that may have come to the chick that fell on her ass. Yeah, like, I'm sorry, but first of all, you're by the registers. There's cameras that have got to be watching the registers. Anyway, your child was doing this unsupervised behind the registers. It's gonna be noticed. But it is like, oh my god, it's like after midnight. So for those that don't do military time, it's 12:42. Those who do military time, it's 0:4200 here. Like, yeah, I think it's time for me to go to bed. After all, I am kind of rambling and I'm trying not to fall asleep now at this point, too. Because I had to vent about that because I was just, like, pissing me off to no end. It's like, keep your kids in line. Like, it's not that hard for a stranger just to walk up, say, hey, do you want to come see my puppy? Yeah. Okay, well, you gotta come out to my car to see my puppy. And poof, your kid is gone. That simple. You know, you could be liable for someone getting hurt because your kid fucked up. You could, have to pay for more shit than you planned to pay for because you didn't want to watch your kid. Hell, honestly, like, I hate going to some restaurants because they are family restaurants and I know there's going to be kids there and it's like, I just don't feel like dealing with the damn kids. Which sucks because, like, some of the restaurants I like to go to, like, they're family restaurants and there's going to be kids there and I just, like I said, I don't want to deal with the damn kids. And, like, part of that is, like, I don't want these kids, like, just randomly running up and, like, taking food off my plate because I've seen it happen at restaurants and, like, parents don't apologize for it or anything. They're just like, they grab their kids and they're like, what are you doing over here? It's like, seriously? You had no idea your kid was over here? Like, are you kidding me? And I'm like, okay, I understood when I was staying over at my, sister-in-law's house and my niece would, like, steal food off my plate. That though, that's a little bit different because it's like, she's, like, very much attached to me. Like, she's my girl. That really is my girl. Like, she's mine. She's my own one. My baby. I claim her as my daughter sometimes just because it's easier. Especially at, like, the carnivals and stuff. Like, they're like, come on, Mama, let's win that baby a prize. And it's like, yeah, no. Maybe later when we have her dad with us. Which is actually just her uncle. Especially right now because he's got money. Oh. Ooh, that one had a funky taste. Yeah, so, but yeah, it's like, control your kids. Like, if you have kids, control your fucking kids. Like, and I can tell you right now, like, if my oldest two boys, like, if they ever let my grandkids run around a restaurant like that, I'm just gonna be like, nope, we're going home. Like, we're gonna have to take our food to go because, like, no, I will not sit here and let my grandkids run all over the fucking restaurants because no, just no. Of course, I know their father. I haven't actually met their other mom yet, but I doubt she would even let them run around. Let the boys get away with letting the grandkids run around the restaurant like that because I don't see it happening. Which I'm thankful for. Like, those two boys, like, they were raised properly. But yeah, so I'm going to go to bed. So peace out, y'all. Have a good one. I'll probably post this tomorrow.